Oh, this is some amazing stuff.
Hey, everybody. Happy Monday, which we're pretending it's Wednesday and Friday. So confusing, but that's what we do every week. So hopefully you're having a great start to your week. Getting ready to record Wednesday show, listener questions with Rikki, Pam. It's like the Brady Bunch almost. And then we'll do Friday show. Friday's going to be a fun one because we actually came up with that idea this morning. So we've had plenty of time to percolate. Still, we'll be making it up as we go, probably. But
prepared.
We're going to part of the show. We are prepared. It's some stuff, and we're trying to be prepared at other things. It's not happening yet, but we'll get there. But hang with us. We want you to be a part of the show. So if you have a listener question, put it in the comments below, and we'll address those right away because we are running a little low on the questions actually in the inbox. I mean, current questions. We got tons. I go back to like 2014, and we probably have good answers. But
we need the standard question. Remember, there was like one like, when is Space 220 going to open?
Yeah,
or,
right,
exactly. The dining plan going to be back? Boom!
I know the answer now.
No, seriously, if you just wait long enough, somebody asked something, and it happened today. But I don't know if it was Disney related or not. I can't remember because it did happen today.
What?
There was something happened today, and I was like, we talked about that. Maybe we talked about it on last night's show, and it happened today. I can't remember. But I was like, it'll come to me. I was like, we talked about that. And
it feels very ethereal
I'm so
I was on the treadmill, and I'm like, dang, it happened again. But I don't think it might not have been Disney related. It might have been something that Scott and I were talking about on the call-in show. And I was like, if it didn't happen, it did. Like, holy cow.
You could say this at the beginning of every podcast,
I know, right?
And it would literally be correct. There was a thing that we once talked about that happened today.
But we're like, it'd be weird if this happened.
I get it.
It happened. It was so bizarre. Anyway, so we're going to do your questions. You have a question, you have a comment, throw it in the comments, and then we'll get to podcasting here. All right, so here we go. This is number 2337. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2337 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week and having just a fun time at work or back to school. Some of you teachers and students have a great school year. And we're here to get you through that week by answering your listener questions. So thank you for the great questions in the inbox. Thanks to everybody who's joining us here on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. We have a good time. So joining me today, we have Rikki from the mouseforless.com. Rikki, happy Halloween. A little bit late because the party started last week. I feel like I'm late to the party here. What's going on?
I know. Boo to you.
Boo to
and
you
you.
you.
You know what? I am counting down because I am finally, after all this time, gonna be on the Wish. So I get to sail finally on the Wish. It has been so many years in the making for this trip. Brian and I didn't think it was ever gonna happen, basically, but now it is, and I'm still kind of thinking it's not going to happen. Like, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I'm really hoping that's not the case because there's no backing out now.
We were just talking before we hit the record button that when we make things happen on the show,
I know.
You just cursed yourself. So,
I did just curse myself.
Nice job, landlubber. You're going to be in Georgia.
Let's hope not. But yeah, so I'm very excited to finally get to see the Wish. So yay!
Right, so I got to get Pam introduced because we're going to do something for you here. Pam Forrester, she's the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, residing just outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pam, happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday. I'm excited. It's like kids are going back to school. It's like the time when people get their school calendars. They're starting to plan vacations. They're starting to think about spring break. And I just want to take a minute to say, yay to the people who are already planning for spring break, because what happens is you get to be like a few months down the road and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to plan spring break, or you wait until after the holidays and then you come to us and you're like, okay, I want to go to Disney World here, or I want to go on a cruise here. And we're like, okay, there's some limited availability here that we're working with, or the cruise prices have gone up significantly. So my best advice, if you're looking to plan a cruise or a World or Adventures by Disney or Disneyland or even an Alani vacation, reach out now so that we can get that locked in. And you guess what? Then you have a few more months to make some payments. So
That's true. I mean, that's very true. Great sage advice there, because you want to lock in and get that, and you can always modify. You can even cancel if
yes,
you know, your kid has to go to school for spring. They don't make kids go to spring break school. That
I
was
don't think so.
I mean,
it's not like summer school.
I mean, can you imagine if they started doing spring break school because you struggled so hard? They're like, dude, you're not even making it to summer. We're making you go to spring break school.
That would be horrible.
That'd be like next level summer school. Holy cow. They'd have to make a movie with Mark Harmon for that one for sure.
Yeah, there would be. Yeah, that's, I think, what they call generational trauma. Like, wasn't that what Encanto was really about?
I didn't see it.
Valid. Oh my gosh. Of course you haven't seen Encanto. Oh my goodness.
The last movie I saw was Last Jedi. The Skywalker one. The last Star Wars movie, episode 9. That was the last movie.
I roll my eyes at you so hard.
Here's a question I have for Pam. Pam, Rikki, 50-50 might go on the wish because she just cursed herself. But if she gets lucky enough to get to go now that she opened her big mouth, what's the one piece of advice you would give Rikki for a rookie wish sailor? What's the one thing you would tell her to do?
That to go into it with an open mind and not judge it based on your experience on other ships. I think that's the thing that I have heard sinks people more than anything else when they're thinking about this. It's just that they're like, oh, I didn't like it because it wasn't like this or it wasn't like this. And it's like, of course it wasn't like this. If it was just like that, then they could have just made the same ship over and over and over again.
That's true. Yes. Yeah.
So,
I think the good thing is I've sailed on the Magic and I've sailed obviously on the Dream and the Fantasy. So like the Magic is different enough from the Dream and the Fantasy. So, you know, like I feel like, and I love the Magic and, you know, I obviously love the Dream and the Fantasy. So I do have like kind of an open mind with it, which I agree with you. I've heard that's kind of the biggest hurdle is, you know, it's not the Dream or it's not the Magic. And it's like, well, no.
Correct.
Duh.
You won. You get a point. Yes.
And guess what? The treasure won't be the Dream or the Magic or the wish even. So, you know, yeah. So I'm excited.
And there will be things that you love about it and things that you don't love about it. But I think, you know, first of all, you're on a Disney ship. Right. So that's, you know, always a good thing. And you have to go to all the lounges. All right. And I'll let Mike give his piece of advice too.
First of all, don't go blasting full speed on the deck when you're on your morning jog and expect to go all the way around.
Well, I won't be running on the ship.
I'm just saying.
Brian might, but I won't be. So
I've seen Brian. I've seen him run the marathons because he was the one that was zigzagging outside of the cones. Because I was running with somebody. I was like, "Who is that over there? Dude, like going in and out of the cones." It was Brian. But he could actually probably like blast out on the deck and run into the rails because he goes all the way around. No, I'm just joking there, but it doesn't. So, no, with that, I would say make sure you catch Kiss Goodnight one night. Make sure you do that one. And the last night there's an energy the last night of the cruise.
It's okay. So that for everyone who doesn't know is what it happens at midnight, right? Or
that happens at 3 PM.
Stop.
Just saying. That's kind of a dumb question. No, just go ahead. It does happen at midnight.
Later. All right, so it happens at midnight and it's in the lobby of the Wish, right?
No, it's in the women's restroom on deck.
I'm gonna punch you so hard. When I see you in September, I'm legit just gonna haul off and punch you. Like seriously, I was trying to help those that actually didn't know what that was.
Okay,
so
yes, it's in
way
the
to
lobby.
be a jerk.
What do you think Kiss Goodnight is? Is it in Adventureland at the Magic Kingdom? No, it's at the castle. It's in the lobby. Sorry, the girls have been. Paige has been home the last few days. I've been having to be like sarcastic just because you gotta hold your own. You know, like they're both girls are here.
Yes,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, so I gotta fight it off. Sorry, everybody. It's
sorry. I was trying to help the listeners, and you're sitting here trying to be a jerk.
I'm sorry. I'm a dad, and I gotta I mean, it just comes out sometimes. Okay, first question of the day comes from Adam. Morning, Mike. I'm Adam from the UK here. Been listening for the last few months. Love the show. We're currently planning a 3-week break in October of 2024, staying at the Beach Club, Animal Kingdom Lodge, and a week offsite at a villa. I'm a very keen runner like you, Can you recommend any good routes while staying on site from Beach Club and Animal Kingdom Lodge? Keep up the great work, Adam. P.S. Go Yankees. Sorry about that. The Yankees are terrible this year, but so are my Cardinals. Better luck next year. So here's that. It's ironic that he's a Yankees fan and he's from the UK. Huh.
Yeah, interesting.
Isn't it ironic? Said Alanis Morissette. Anyway, I will say you've picked a great resort for runners, and you've picked an absolutely terrible resort for runners. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Yeah. So let's start with the good news. Beach Club, great place to stay. Step outside. You can run that loop between the beach, the yacht, and the boardwalk around Crescent Lake. You can actually just veer off there, head down to the studios, run around the little entrance plaza there where the friendship boats drop you off. It is an amazing place to run. It is awesome. Great place to run. One lap around there is about 3/4 of a mile, just Crescent Lake. If you add the jog down to the studios, you can probably get about 1.5 miles in. If you add the Crescent Lake and back and forth from the studios, that's a great run, especially at sunrise. Animal Kingdom Lodge, not great. There is a treadmill, though. There's a fitness center at Animal Kingdom Lodge. That's your best bet. Go into the fitness center, jump a treadmill, and do that. I have when I was crazier than I am now. I've run kind of up and down between Jumbo House and Kidani. Not recommended because it's kind of just like between the bus stops. You can also run the perimeter of the parking lot. Also not recommended because you get hit by a car. And you're also from the UK, so our cars are on opposite sides of the road. So in a moment of brain fart, you could just get hit because you might be thinking people are on the wrong side and you might not realize it. So I would recommend a treadmill while you're at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So that's what I would say. All right. We've got a question here for Jason. It's a hypothetical question. If you could replace an animatronic on an attraction with a cast member, what would you choose? So you put a person. I think I get what Jason's saying. Like during the Halloween party sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pop like a real person into Pirates.
Yeah,
sometimes it's actually Johnny Depp out at Disneyland.
They've done that too. Yes.
He like drank a little bit too much rum, stumbled in, and like, dude, I'm just taking over. What's up? Arrgh. I don't know who scares more, him or the guest, but that'd be pretty awesome.
Right.
I don't know.
Pam, where would you throw somebody in and just freak people out?
I think the Haunted Mansion, which is another thing like way back when they used to do, but dang, how fun would that be at certain areas? There are certain areas of that ride that are actually really dark. And I think you could do it too in the graveyard area.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like someone could pop out behind something. I think that would be really kind of cool, kind of funny. It would add an extra level to it, that's for sure. But yeah, I think I would love that. Just, a few nights out of the year during the parties.
I like that. Yeah, I was actually going to agree with you with the Haunted Mansion because you've got, Madame Carlotta that sits outside a lot of times for the Halloween party, or Madame Renata, which is always such a great experience. I love getting to watch them. And so like, wouldn't it be kind of fun to have them actually in the attraction in the graveyard scene? I think that would be, kind of amazing. And so I agree with you. I think that one actually was where my brain was going first. I kind of have to agree with, I think Len said it, or Jason said it. The father for Carousel of Progress would be another awesome one. I agree. Cool. Yeah, because
it's Valentine's Day.
He'd be actually telling the story. Actually, just having the entire cast, like just be an entire cast of people, not just the father, but the entire story. So I think that would be kind of cool.
It would be fun.
Yeah, it would be.
That'd be really cool, but you'd have to be on your game.
But okay, if I'm gonna come up with a different one, like a totally different one than anybody said, I think I've got the perfect answer. It's not an attraction, but Sunny Eclipse. Come on, let's do Sunny Eclipse. Let's do it. Like,
are we bringing in an actual alien? Like, do we have to go out to Area 51?
Yes, bring in an actual alien.
I mean, apparently they're real. I mean, our government admitted it. Sunny Eclipse is for real. I mean, he's in Tomorrowland. This is no joke.
Talk about being overqualified. Like, you've come from a species that has figured out how to get all these light years away from us from you, where you live to us, but we want to set you in here and you can be a loud singer.
Yes. All he does is sing the Planetary Blues all day.
At a place that sells
corn dogs.
Mediocre burgers.
Mediocre burgers is exactly Pam's right. And mediocre chicken.
Probably a chicken sandwich or two.
Yes. And a
They're not
giant
bad.
footlong hot dog that does not need to be that
And no
long.
more cheese. No more hot lava cheese.
No. And no
Pretty
more
good.
toppings. You don't get any more lettuce or tomatoes. No, nothing like that. You just got to get it on your sandwich. Ooh.
And by the way, Nichelle here in the chat, crushing my dreams, because I thought that was real too. Just till about 5 minutes ago. So thank you for crushing my dreams with that comment. And I'm not going to read out loud because you'll crush everybody else's dreams.
All right, that's good.
But no, here I have two, but okay, here's mine. Okay, one, and these don't really, they're both at the studios. One is an extinct attraction. But this animatronic, I couldn't take my eyes off of. And it was the Wicked Witch in the Great Movie Ride. I was always like,
oh yeah,
is that a person? Because that thing was so real looking, I couldn't tell. Now, if you'd put a real person there, I couldn't have told the difference. Like that thing was so fluid, and like you could have put a person, and I'd have been like, dude, that's real. Like coming at me. If that person would have jumped down and got into that vehicle, wouldn't have shocked me like at all. Okay, and the other person, I know this is a real person, but they got me like my first 3 trips to Disney. It was John Pelkey. The first 2 times that I ever went to the show, it was the Indiana Jones show, where they don't do this anymore. And this is such a shame. Remember back in the day on the Indiana Jones show where they would show like how to take a punch at the beginning?
Yes.
So they'd take volunteers from the crowd and like, like real people. Like I got on the stage one time. Like I got up there and like there was real people because I was up there. They'd put you in like, they'd take you back and put you on, you put on the costume. And they'd have like 5 people lined up, but you didn't know like one of them was a Disney worker. And I didn't know back then one of the dudes was John Pelkey, the Run Disney guy. Dude, they drilled him like boom, and he went down, and he was like standing next to me. I'm like, holy, we just dropped him. Like, am I getting trucked? I didn't know that. And then, of course, I came around to figuring out, dude, they're not going to light me up here, but. I was like, what is going on? The first time it shocked me because he came out of the seats. Like he wasn't coming from back. I saw him like he was eager, raising his hand just like I was. He was like in cargo shorts and like a Hawaiian shirt. He didn't have like a cast member shirt.
No, they sold you perfectly.
Oh, it totally got me, dude. They just lit him up. They go, bam, and he was just laying there. I was like, what is going? I thought Disney was nice. They just drilled this guy. And then he got up and they gave it to him like in the gut. Ugh! It was like, oh man. It was I cannot. I mean, I don't know why they don't do that because that was one of the greatest. Like it shocked me. I was like, holy, what is going on? It's like one of those back now, like this would be a great TikTok video, right? This is 20 years before TikTok probably, but I could not believe it. One of those things. Did you ever have a shocking moment like that, Pam, at Walt Disney World?
Oh yeah.
You on something like that? Because I mean, they got me with that bit. And I mean, I was shocked.
I know. I'm trying to remember, like, if I was gotten the first time I had seen that, and I probably was. I mean, really, I would have been younger, and I know, like, seen it as a kid. There were definitely things like that. I mean, just things that you thought were real. I mean, my mom tells the story, and I do kind of remember as I got older, I felt the same way. She said the first time that they took me on Peter Pan, like I turned to her and said, we're flying. Like, how are we flying like Peter Pan? And I mean, I know like at that point, it might've been a tad easier to trick me. I'm not sure, whatever. But I remember that feeling just being like, this is magic. This is, that. And I love to see that with little kids too, or adults. Anyone seeing it and really embracing the magic is a very cool experience. So
I love that, but here's the difference. You're probably like a 6-year-old girl. I was like a 35-year-old dad. And I'm like, oh, I can't believe this. They just almost killed this guy. This guy's a dad that's got to go home to his kids just like me. He's laying here a bloody mess on the floor. Do you remember like a moment at Walt Disney World where you got by them?
I got one time when Brian and I, it was our first trip together, and I got by Brian because here's what happened. We went to see it, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they put out the questions, the question for the audience to do. And he's sitting there and he says, I made it. before they even like posted who won, and then I'll be darned if he didn't end up in the hot seat. I got by Brian. So I mean, that was, and then I was sad because he got the question wrong about 101 Dalmatians, like how many puppies there were. He guessed 101 instead of 99, but he'd never seen the movie at the time. So
yeah, I had no clue.
But
it makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, when I was a kid, obviously I got by Country Bear Jamboree because I thought that those were actual bears and I thought they were going to eat me. So granted, I was 2, but you know, that was very realistic to me, and I did not want to get eaten by a bear. So, I mean, I got when I was 2. So, yeah.
Let me ask you this. Back to my thing. Not that it's all about me, but I have the big microphone here.
Oh, okay.
Why do they not do that thing on Indiana Jones anymore? Because I mean, it was standing room only when I went down in July because we did that full day at the studios. I mean, I know the movie had just come out. Is it because it's so violent and now society is turned against violence? Like they don't want to show like somebody getting beat up. I mean, because that was probably 15 years ago. We turned so much as a society? Because I think that is the greatest bit. I would love to see like new dads that have no idea what they're getting. I mean, because like that left an impression on me. I was for real, like they almost killed a guy.
I think I have your answer. I don't think you're gonna like it. I'm almost certain that the answer has to do with money, and the fact that
they don't want to pay
that's an actual actor that they have to pay. And so they don't want to pay another equity actor. Same reason they haven't brought back Streetmosphere, you know. I mean, same thing. They don't want to hire equity actors back because it costs extra money. Now they should because they're amazing. But I mean,
true. There's no Streetmosphere, and it was the same. It was the same exact thing because you're like walking. Yeah, it was Streetmosphere. That's a great comparison because you're walking through the studios, and they'd be like, because you just be walking like normal, sir. You got to walk with purpose. You're in the shop. And you're like, I'm just a dad from, St. Charles, Missouri. No. You got to walk like this.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't have that anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
And it makes me sad. And Disney, bring back Streetmosphere. We miss them so very much.
Oh man, you're exactly right. That was what made the memories so much. I mean, they have great rides. Don't get me wrong. I have a good time there, but that was the stuff that was just like, whoa, it was crazy. Anyway, back to the questions. I was hogging it there. Sorry. Okay.
As usual.
Emily, sorry. I put the big away. Emily says, hello, BOGP crew. I have an upcoming trip to the world in January for 6 nights and one. Your opinion about the dining plan? I'm very budget conscious, but you wouldn't think that looking at my sit-down restaurant wish list. I have Hoop-de-Doo, Storybook Dining, and Yachtsman all in my itinerary, all 2 credits. We are foodies and love adult beverages, but not big on snacks. I'm thinking the dining plan does not make sense, but do you agree? Emily is in Pennsylvania. Pam, talk to her about this. What would work best for her? She's got Hoop-de-Doo, Storybook Dining, Yachtsman, all signature, and they're looking at adult beverages, but they don't do snacks. What advice would you give her?
I would say what we need to, because I have not done the deep math like this on this, whether it will work out for like shows and things like that. The thing that is the wild card in the dining plan, even people that are sort of on the fence about the dining plan, is typically your drink of choice. And it makes a huge difference. Because even the non-alcoholic specialty drinks you're looking at a $10 to $12 drink item, at that price. I think it's around there for like smoothies and whatnot. If you're getting like a non-alcoholic drink, if you're getting an alcoholic drink, then that would be a little more. So think about that. That's where you're going to take a deep dive. Know that at Hoop-de-Doo, the drinks come with it. The drinks that are there are included. And that whole thing. So I think that it just is, you're just going to have to do a dive on the math. And the snack thing, I think, even if you don't snack, that doesn't really impact it or not. You can use those snacks.
I agree.
Put a couple together as meals for breakfast or lunch or whatnot. I mean,
or you're always going to get a bottle of water or soda somewhere here.
100%. 100%. But in at all of the quick service restaurants, especially at the resort hotels, there's going to be a few things that they designate as snacks. And that can be anything from like a small portion of eggs to a bagel with cream cheese to cereal and some milk. Like all of those things could count as snacks typically. So that's something that you're going to want to consider. Even at lunch, there are certain things like a mac and cheese or a fries with like cheese and bacon
chili.
on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I mean, like they count as a snack that can be used certainly as a meal. There's also usually a side salad for those people who are looking for something a little healthier. I mean, there's a lot of good options. I always use the example of the Yak and Yeti counter service. The chicken fried rice is really, that's a snack. It really is. It really is. So there's a bunch of those out there too. So those are the things that are going to determine more whether that dining plan is worth it for you. For the ones, now we just did some straight up ones that would not be signature, that would be just sort of meal for meal. For most people, we have found that the dining plans are going to be a great option for them for those reasons that I just talked about. The dining plan went up slightly when it was released again, but it actually it didn't go up nearly the percentage that the meal price has gone up in Walt Disney World and at every other restaurant that you eat in the country or probably in the world. It just hasn't. The dining plan went up slightly, but it really wasn't that much of an increase, especially when you consider like even the drinks are more expensive than they used to be. Even soft drinks or iced tea or any of those things are more expensive and all included. So a few things to think about.
The only thing that I have as kind of a sticking point with all of it is the fact that I don't know how many days they're going to be there, but they want to do 3 signature meals. And like usually I can see where it might work out with doing like 1 signature meal, or something like that. But having 3 of them, that's the part that I'm a little concerned about as far as if you get the most value out of it. I agree with you, Pam. I think you're going to have to do the math and figure out kind of like, it will depend on the beverage of choice that you want to go with. If that will help make up for, the addition that will take place with the signature meal. Like I said, if there was 1, maybe 2, I might like say, yeah, you probably would be okay. But when you add that 3rd one in, it really kind of, that makes me question it just a little bit.
And if it's going to come down to almost even, here's my biggest thing. And this is just a philosophical thing with me. Again, it's your mileage may vary, but this is why I like cruising. If it comes down like it's within $50 or something or $25, I'm adding the dining plan. I'm getting it paid for ahead of time, so I don't have to mess with it. It makes it feel more all-inclusive. That's why I love cruises, because things feel all-inclusive. I like to sit down, go into the restaurant and just order. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. It's just his budget conscience, and that's totally me too. And I just like to have that freedom that when I'm on vacation, I'm not looking at the price of everything.
You aren't looking for the Chepper chicken.
No, that's exactly. Because I mean, when I am paying out of pocket, I will short myself. That's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I will look and say, here's the cuts of meat, and I always go to the cheaper one. I mean, because it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be like, it's fine. But if I'm on the dining plan, I will treat myself. It's just one of those things. It's vacation, so I will treat myself. So it does give me a little bit better experience when I'm down there. So if it's within $25-$50 for the package, of what I'm coming up with on the math, I will kick in and then kind of splurge while I'm there and have a good time with it, and have fun. For the foodies.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a good call.
All right. So here's a great question, because Paul is tuned in all the way over in Scotland. So thanks for tuning in over on Facebook over in Scotland as we record live. We really appreciate that. And Paul says, what is or was your favorite parade? And what would you bring back? I would bring back Spectrum Magic. So Paul, I'm with you. But here's the thing. I've been kind of stewing on this for the last 5 minutes as I saw it pop up as a comment. Man, I have 2. And Spectrum Magic is 1. My other one is Tapestry of Dreams, or Tapestry of Nations, the first one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I'm trying to decide between the 2, because Tapestry of Nations with sliding right into Illuminations on a hot summer night at Epcot in like 2000 or 1999 was about the perfect combo ever.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go Spectrum Magic though.
Wow.
Yeah, because Spectrum Magic was, man, the Magic Kingdom at night with the castle, and it just kind of, I'd like to like see like an aerial view of it just like worming its way from like Liberty Square down to Main Street through the hub, and all the trumpet players that would give you nightmares, but they were cool, and those dancing ostriches, which again would kind of give you nightmares, but they were kind of cool, and the music and the lights, it was truly awesome. Like, I love Spectro. It was Main Street Electrical Parade, but a little bit better. I liked it better. So, Pam, what about you? Could you bring back one parade? What will you bring back?
I think for me, it is Tapestry of Nations. I just have so many sweet, sweet memories of Hannah being pulled out to dance in that parade. She loved it. I've said this before, but she just happened to be the perfect age and the perfect amount of enthusiasm, which was 100% enthusiasm all the time. And every time the parade was on, like, they would pull her out into it, like every single time we saw it. She just loved it so much. I can just remember all of those different, the drummers, the colorful puppets that were really like sort of triangles of color and different. I mean, it was just, all of it was really, really so cool, and just so many great memories there. So I would love that, and I would love to see something that did something that parade did, which is everything sort of stopped around World Showcase. Everyone was sort of engaged in that parade, and encouraged people to sort of dance around together with people they didn't know, with people they did know, all of that. It was really sort of entertainment in World Showcase that went the whole way through World Showcase, and I loved that too. So yeah, I would think I would choose that one.
Every night it gave it like a heartbeat. Like, it
did.
Because you could hear the drums. Because if you didn't ever see it, go on YouTube and check it out. But you saw this big wheel. The float was like a big wheel of drums, and the drummers would play it as it slowly moved around, kind of like a clock. And even if you were like walking from Future World into World Showcase, you would hear it. And what it did to me, I mean, and I think the Imagineers did this on purpose, it was like a subconscious transition from day to night. Like, okay, now we're transitioning into the evening in World Showcase. It's going to take on a different persona for the rest of the day. In Epcot, we're going into a slower time. We're going to relax. We're going to celebrate. We're all going to get together. You're right. It totally changed. Everybody slowed down. But what I always remember whenever I think of Tapestry of Nations, besides that great music, that and Illuminations together, I played that soundtrack till it just fell apart.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you mentioned the moment with Hannah. It's when those puppeteers that would walk the parade would like bend over and have that puppet like shake hands with a little kid standing on the side. There was something magical about that every time. Like, every single time, because they did it with Paige a couple of times, but it didn't matter if it was your kid or not. Every time you saw that, it was like a magical moment. And they did that multiple times throughout the parade. You saw it happen it wasn't like it happened once in a while. It happened all the time. But I mean, you're right, Pam. It felt like you were making a connection, like a larger connection than you, and you saw it every night at Epcot. It was a very special time. It was a very optimistic time, I think.
It felt like if they would have put the mission statement for Epcot up on the board and said, we need to make a parade that embodies this. Then it would have been that. Like, they did it. So yeah.
I miss it. What about you, Rikki? I mean, what would you bring?
Oh, I get to answer the question? Oh, good.
About how much you love Epcot 99 with a little festival of our Tapestry Nations.
I never got to see Tapestry of Nations. I know I've heard it, and I've seen video of it, but like I never got to see it in person. So I am sad about that. My favorite parade overall, and I'm not a parade person, my favorite parade overall is the Boo to You parade. I absolutely adore that parade. It is by far the one parade I will make sure that I watch. Like, if I'm going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, it is because of the Boo to You parade. So that's one. The parade that I miss probably would be the Main Street Electrical Parade. I feel like, I have like vague memories of Spectrum Magic. I saw it, but like it didn't like connect with me. But I do like the Main Street Electrical Parade. Seeing it in Disneyland was just amazing. I have the, Pete's Dragon popcorn bucket sitting here in the, the BOGP studio here. I think it was just a fantastic parade. Now, the interesting thing I think all of us have is every single one of the parades that we've mentioned is a nighttime parade. So there is something special about nighttime parades at Disney, and I know why they don't do it. It's just such a crazy busy time under normal circumstances to do a nighttime parade, especially nowadays. But it does seem like that's kind of the common thread between all three of us, is we all three enjoy the nighttime parades. You won't catch me out there during the daytime parade. I won't be out there.
I like Festival of Fantasy. Don't get me wrong.
It's good.
It is. It's difficult at, August at 3:00 in the afternoon, 2:00 in the afternoon, whatever it is. I mean, because I want to be back at the hotel in a pool. I'm saying, sacrifice. And you can't, it's hard to take a midday break if you're going to catch that parade. It screws up your whole schedule.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
you got to make an effort. But you're right. You made a great point, Rikki. I mean, so many of my early Disney memories are night times in the parks, and we always stopped to see the parade. I know you didn't, but we always did. It was always parade and fireworks every time. So good point. Ryan's got a question I know we can answer quickly. I like this. He says, any chance if they're running Tron during the Halloween party, and if so, how the wait was? So yes, they are. We saw last week, and they're using the virtual queue.
Yes,
which pulled up almost
immediately. Yeah.
So you got to be quick on the trigger to get into the virtual queue.
Yes, but I think one of the reasons why, and I don't know if this will be something that they adjust moving forward, but I did see that the wait times for Tron, if you actually had a virtual queue, was something like 15 minutes. So I'm wondering if they'll kind of adjust it so that it would bump it up to maybe 20 or 30 minutes. So that way more people would have the opportunity to ride the attraction. I guess I should say more people, because technically you're not really filling it. I don't know, math. But at least it would give more people the opportunity to feel like they're getting the chance to ride the attraction, I guess I should say. So I guess we'll see as we move forward. But yeah, it was only a 15-minute wait I saw for most people. So.
Let me ask you this, Rikki. So what of the party, because we've seen one of them as a recording right now, besides it being walking on the surface of the sun hot that it melts your M&Ms. Here's your M&Ms. Sorry, they're in liquid form tonight. But, put them back in the freezer when you get back to your hotel, and they'll reform.
Maybe reform, yeah.
Coated circular things. Good Lord, it was so hot. I felt
so hot.
We might have had the Captain EO costume on.
Oh, you would have died
before we even got into that night.
Oh my!
Because I almost died. And it was probably
that was a sweat. That was legit. You were wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah.
I was thinking that I would have Celebration Hospital, see you. Okay, but what did you see of the party? Because overall I thought they killed the party. I thought they've made multi improvements to the party this year. They've upgraded it in many ways. What did you think?
I agree. I thought about buying tickets to the party for next weekend, because we get back from the cruise, and I was like, maybe I should buy, the ticket for the Friday night, go from the cruise to the party. That would be kind of a nice little, idea. And then I just kind of put it off, and I'm like, well, I don't know. And then the tickets sold out. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not upset about it. I was like, okay, I've been to the party many years. The last time I went to the official Not So Scary Halloween party was 2019. I went to the Boo Bash, which was similar, but not quite the same thing. So but now looking back, I kind of partially regret the fact that I didn't get tickets for that Friday night, but I'm also kind of happy because it was so hot, and I'm like, I don't want to be out there in the heat in the middle of August with melted candy. So that part I'm kind of happy about. But man, I agree with you. I think they really killed this party. I think that they have so many great treats. They started doing that treat thing of and I know it's different. A lot of people are like, oh, do they have the free popcorn and ice cream? And unfortunately, no, that was the Boo Bash, because that was an after hours event and a whole different thing. It is, the treats that they are offering, you do have to pay for. Except for the candy, obviously.
Well, I like how it is. Let me go trick or treating and buy the specialty stuff, dude. That's my jam. But
exactly. So I think that's fine. They have a lot of great unique items. I think this year they have just knocked out of the park with so many. I don't know how. Like, I saw people going around and trying like every single thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, how did you?
Oh.
Okay, I know that a lot of people just try a bite and then throw it away. Like, that's how a lot of bloggers work.
I'm too cheap to do that.
I'm too cheap to do that too. I'd be like, nah, dude, I'm eating this whole thing.
15 heat index earlier in the day, people are eating these lava cakes that look like a mummy.
Right, exactly, which looked amazing, by the way. But I also don't know that I want a lava cake that in the when it's 90
we're saying
degrees.
Lava cake and it's 115 heat index.
Exactly.
And it's probably still 105 at 8 o'clock at night.
No, I mean, that sounds delicious, but I don't know that I would do it. But yeah, I regret that I didn't get a ticket, but then I also don't regret that I didn't get a ticket because I won't be able to go back in September or really because obviously we won't be going back for when we all go for the Give Kids World event, and then I can't probably go in October, so I'm out of luck, but that's okay.
This party's going to jam if it cools off like right around Halloween. Because I mean, really, the party's more exciting. Of course, you get to Halloween. So say,
it also costs a small fortune, but
I know it does. But say like October 28th or something, and you get a little cool snap. Oh man, this party, Pam. I mean, what did you think? Because I think Disney's listened to feedback and they've upped their game. Even in the parade, they've added like the Sanderson sisters, but Disney characters. I mean, they just took little things and improved on a lot of little small stuff, I think.
I think that I say this all the time. One of the things that Disney is good at is listening to feedback or constructive criticism, not the general, like, we don't like Disney because it's overpriced or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, what they're looking for is ways that they can meet guest expectations better. And that will be, through improved experiences, that is something that they can deliver on. So I think that is something that they do. I think that they, we really see that happening this year. I love it. I mean, I love when we can take an experience and improve on it. Remember when years ago the complaint used to be that the candy was not good candy? Like,
yes,
that. And so then Disney responded, and it's like, the candy is good candy now. It's legitimately good candy.
Like, before it was those weird like gummy hamburger and hot dog things. And I don't 100%. Want those. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, all of that, I think that is, just a good example of what Disney does. Also, we've talked about this in the past, but one of the things that California guests get that we as Walt Disney World frequent guests did not get is all the different foods that are available for certain parties and holidays and whatnot. Well, hello. In the past few years, we have gotten like foods for everything, like specialty foods, limited time items. And I love seeing that. It is sort of a creative outlet. Like, if I were a chef and I got to create some of this stuff, I would be like, oh, awesome. Like, Halloween's coming up. I got some ideas, people. And then that whole thing. But I love how they do that. And it's a great example of that.
That cinnamon roll is going to have eyes, and it's going to look
right
into your soul for the month of October. Okay, real quick. Last question of the day, again from Paul. We're coming in November. What are the parks like during this month? We've never been with Christmas decorations up during that time. November is a great time to come because it's transitional, right? It's between Halloween and Christmas. You will, if you come, there's only a small period there before the Christmas decorations go up. November, if you come before Thanksgiving, awesome, because most of the decorations are up, not all, but they'll be up more in the parks. They get there in the resorts, and you're going to see, good weather for Central Florida. It starts to cool off. You're not going to see the 115 heat index. You can still see some lingering effects of like hurricane season and some rain, but you're going to have, the opportunity to experience the beauty of, the Christmas trees and the Christmas lights and you're going to have a great time. It's a great time to be down there. It really is. So good job, Paul. Okay, so that's going to do it for today's show. You have a question, please email that to me at mike@beourguestpodcast.com. We'll get that on the show here right away. And you can join us every Monday, usually around 5:30 Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We love having our great folks just like Becky and Nichelle and Margie was here. Ryan was here. Lots of friends. Paul over in Scotland joining us here as we record. We appreciate them so very much. Don't forget, our show's always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan that next Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. Here's the best part. No additional cost to you. That's right. The price is right. And it's not just Bob Barker. It is free to you. And you're going to get lots of goodies too when you book with us. I'll tell you what, you're crazy if you don't book a Disney cruise with us, because if you book it yourself, same price when you book with us. But when you get on the cruise, if you booked it yourself, you're going to be like, yeah, I booked it myself. That's awesome. I'm going to check my onboard credit. Nothing. Zero. If you book it with us and you go, I'm going to check that onboard credit, you're going to be, whoa, I got an onboard credit. I can go get a drink. I can go buy.
Forward to next week, that onboard credit, baby.
Go. You know what? You can probably go get a Disney Wish floating wireless
I
speaker.
might be able to. Actually,
maybe
you can pre-order those now.
We'll talk about that on Friday.
Yeah.
There's another way you can get one too. But you can use onboard credit for it too if you want. You can get drinks, you can buy a shirt, you can get a cool hat like I wear sometimes, all that good stuff. Just don't use your gratuities. I'll find you, because you can, but I'll find you. It's not fun. Anyway, it's just you support the podcast, you support a small business, and you get benefits too. It's win-win-win. We just want to help you plan that great Disney vacation. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Also, please use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. You got to buy those Ticonderogas. It's last minute. Guess what? Amazon can get you stuff quick. Back to school supplies. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons. You guys allow us to put out the most Disney podcasts in the universe. 3, 4, 5 podcasts a week. Nobody else is crazy enough to do that. And it's because of your support that we can. And our patrons get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. You can do that starting at just $5 a month. You get like 27 podcasts a month for that cost of, I don't know what it is per podcast, but it's cheap. So come on over and support us. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give Pam a follow on social media at TMFLT Pam. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKI and IBS. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram and Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it this week. Give us a follow. We'd love to talk to you this week. And don't forget, Sunday night, Scott and I are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And we take your calls. We have a great time with that. We open up the phone lines and we talk about all kinds of stuff. We talked about betting in Disney last week. It was wild. We're turning the Odyssey into a sports bar.
But okay.
It was great, man. The Odyssey is going to be the place where you can go and you can bet on cricket, because there's games around the world. It's the transition, because like it's a transition into World Showcase, and you could take bets and you could buy food from around the world in the Odyssey, but you could also throw some money on a cricket game or a little Australian rules football, soccer. It's going to be awesome. We've already got it figured out for Disney. We're just waiting for the call. Anyway, join us Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central, and give us a call. That's what we do. It's the way we wrap up weekends, and it's a lot of fun. It's very casual, but it's fun Disney talk too at the same time. All right, we're going to jump out of here. We're going to be back on Friday with a fun show. Deuces are wild on Friday. That's what I'm going to say. So let's say no more, but deuces are wild. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike. Wish you a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Say that.
I was looking up my list. I made a list.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
2, 3, 3.
I feel a little inadequate.
It's a good idea to bring something for after dark.
I thought I typed fast.
Yeah, I type really fast.
I type super fast too, and hard like that too. Everyone at my work is like, you type so hard, and I'm like, I don't know, I just type. I don't know.
This keyboard's noisy too.
Yeah, I bought a quiet keyboard, and I still type loud.
Michelle, I was there that time, and it was hot because when I ran the marathon, it was smoking. All right, let's do this. Let me close that. Close. Take that little banner off. All right, gotta not sneeze. 2, 3, 3, 9. Here we go. Nope, not 4,800. 44.1. Welcome to episode number 4. No, I screwed it up.
Which one is it?
I swear you said it started with a 2, so yeah.
39. There we go. Welcome to episode number 2339 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel and #1 super fan of the Francis Howell Vikings, which the football season kicks off tonight, folks. I am a happy Francis Howell Viking football fan. We're the defending state champs here in the state of Missouri, Class 5A, and tonight is our football jamboree. That's right. It's not the official start of the season. That will be next week. But this is the weekend. All of our football fans out there, we get to invite 3 other teams to come over to the H, that's our football stadium, and scrimmage with us. They get to see how it's done, and we send them home with their tails between their legs, and we get to have some fun and get back to our stadium. So I'm super excited. I get to get out of the house, go to the football stadium. It's where I'm in my natural environment. It's awesome. So today, I couldn't be more excited to talk Disney and then roll down to the H, man. Life is good. I might squeeze some Mexican food in there somewhere too. And it's like, is this Iowa? No, this is heaven. That's Mike Rallman's life. It doesn't take much to make me happy. A podcast of high school football game and a couple burritos and an enchilada, and I'm just happy as a lark. Anyway, we're going to have fun talking Disney today. We're talking pears, and I can't make a connection to pears right there, and we're not talking the fruit. So joining me today, we have Rikki from the mouseforless.com, who's getting ready to sail off on a wish. What's up, Rikki?
I sure am. I'm so excited. I'm excited to hear the horns like this. Yes! I'm so excited to hear the horns.
I don't think that's the horn that ever played during our cruise.
Hold on. I'll find a different one.
No, we're good.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm super excited to hear the horns of Disney, and I can't wait. It's been far too long. So
we have a good time. So yes. We gave you advice on Wednesday. So are you going to follow our advice to see the Kiss Goodnight and to not make to follow preconceived notions?
I will not be following preconceived notions for sure. And I guess it will depend on if I can stay awake for the Kiss Goodnight, because I go to bed early now, so I'm not super early though. So I might still be able to make it. I don't know. We'll see.
Let me ask you this: how does Brian feel about silent disco?
He is here for silent disco.
Yeah, I figured that as much. Yes. I mean, he seems like he'd be made for silent disco.
We'll definitely do some silent disco, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, yes. That's cool. Now, so baby's not going, right?
No.
Oh, so you have no excuse not to stay up late. What are you talking? I even stay up till midnight, and I go to bed at 9 o'clock usually. So.
No. Baby is staying with Grandma and Grandpa, so they are very excited to get to hang out with baby Lucy for the entire week, and they're super excited. Trust me. So. Yeah, so I don't know how excited they'll be at the end of the week.
No,
they're excited. They're excited right now. Yeah, exactly.
So did you do any diving in here deep? Did you guys do any adult dining appointments, any spa appointments, any specialty stuff like on your day-by-day agenda when you did your online check-in?
Yes. So I am doing both Palo dinner and brunch. I'm doing Palo dinner on Pirate Night because I don't like Pirate Night. I don't like the dinner that they have.
Pirate Night.
No, I don't like Pirate Night dinner. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I'm happy to fix that. And for a lot of people ask, how do you know which night is Pirate Night? Because you don't know really the dining ahead of time usually before you go on the cruise. And I can tell you the way you find out which night is Pirate Night is when you go through and you look at the activities that they have offered. For the Bibbidi Boppidi Boutique, they will offer a Pirate Night makeover, and that's when you know it's Pirate Night. So I was like, cool, I'm making it for that. And then, like I said, we have Palo brunch scheduled. And then I did book, I know it's expensive on the Wish, but I did book the entire length of stay rainforest room package for the two of us. So that's always just been Yeah, that's always just been a favorite of ours. We love going to the rainforest room. It's like just it's like it's always our splurge whenever. Now this time obviously it's a little bit bigger of a splurge, but it's always our splurge whenever we go on one of the Disney Cruise Line ships. We just absolutely adore the rainforest room. So yeah, that's where you'll probably end up finding us is there. So yeah, it's awesome. So those are our big three.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
All right. Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday, Pam. What is going on with you guys this weekend? Anything big? You guys getting ready to go on a trip too?
I know. So I'm getting ready to go on an Adventures by Disney vacation. This one has been on my bucket list for a while. It is the Southern California one that goes to the Disney Studios and Jim Henson Studios and all of that. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So yeah, doing that soon. And we have the auction coming up and our volunteer day with Give Kids the World. And we have some awesome items that are going to be up for auction. We'll have that link for you soon and we'll post it on the socials. But we have one of those Disney Cruise Line 25th anniversary speakers that everyone's so crazy about. Look at what they're going for on eBay. They're like $300 or $400.
So cool. I mean, if you don't know, because unless you've sailed lately or paid attention, you might not know. It's a wireless Bluetooth speaker. It looks just like the Disney Wish, and it literally floats around in your pool. Or if you don't have a pool, because Scott doesn't have a pool, we were talking about, should we buy one on the cruise? We're like, but we do have a bathtub.
Yes.
We didn't buy one and we kind of regret it because we do have bathtubs. But anyway, it looks just like a Disney Cruise Line ship, and it is a working wireless speaker that floats. Okay, so go ahead. They're awesome. So
it does, yes. And that's just one of the items. We have a trip, a Walt Disney World trip that's going to be part of a raffle. So you'll be able to buy a ticket to it and to enter. We have all kinds of other stuff. Rikki, what are some of the other stuff that we have?
So I'm constantly getting things in the mail now. So thank you to everyone who is sending me items. If you have something that you want to send me, email bogpauction@gmail.com. Obviously, next week I will be on a ship and I will not be accessing Wi-Fi. So just know if you email me in the next week, there's going to be a delay. But I'll still be able to get your stuff. Anyway, but I just got from a very good friend of ours who actually won it at the auction last time, and he has graciously donated it back to us, a signed John Stamos Full House script. So that part is awesome. Yeah, exactly. So I have that. I have lots of other really cool stuff that I'm getting into. I've got a Disneyland Paris nice plush blanket that I've got in. I've got lots of ears. We have some really crafty people who have made homemade ears, which are amazing. We've got ear or lounge fly bag hooks that we have as well. We have just a ton of great stuff. We're getting in and lots and lots and lots of great things. So we're gonna have photos and everything like that up here soon, like Pam said, of everything for the auction. But it's going to be a great auction. It's going to be a fantastic, got some fantastic stuff for Give Kids the World, that we hope we can raise a lot of money for them. So, it's going to be really great. I promise you, it's going to be so cool. I know that we have some stuff from Give Kids the World, which I don't know if any of you know, but our person that we have as our liaison for Give Kids the World, he kind of likes to, they have a lot of events at Give Kids the World where celebrities come in and, they will come in and sign things and stuff like that. And I know we have a few items that are specifically signed from, different people who have come to Give Kids the World as well. Really cool stuff. I know there's some old school Disney, I don't know, they're not like maps, but like things like that, like pieces of paper.
Exclusives you would like.
Exclusives. Was that called Eupherma? Something I don't know what that's called, but anyway, there's some E word that gets used for that kind of stuff. But we've got some really cool.
I think it is.
Yeah, ephemera. Yeah, something along those lines. Anyway, we've got some really cool exclusive things that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else with that kind of stuff too. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be really awesome. I promise. I have my eye on some things, so I know you're going to have your eye on some things too.
So we are going to be volunteering again on that Friday, September 8th from 7:30 to 10:30. It's going to be awesome. And we're going to hang out in the parks that day. I think Scott and I know for going over to Epcot. So you want to hang out with us, we'll be over there. And then on the 9th, we're going to be on the air from 12 to 6 Eastern. So if you can't tune in or if you can't be there, we'd love for you to be in the room with us. That'd be kind of fun. You don't have to be the whole 6 hours like us, but we will be. You're more than welcome to come over to the village and hang out with us and, you know, donate and bid and all that good stuff and come on the air with us and all that good stuff. But also we're going to be taking calls. We'll be on the air from 12 to 6 Eastern and we'll be just like this. So if you're at home and you want to, you know, call in, and we'll be using the video chat feature from down there. So you just got to click the link and you'll be boom, right in a box, and we'll be talking to you. We'll have special guests from the village while we're there and all kinds of fun stuff, playing games and all kinds of good stuff. So mark that out. And again, now's the time for the kids to have a lemonade stand or to do some kind of craft to raise some money to just make a straight donation to the families that need it down to Give Kids the World. That'll be awesome.
Yep, because you don't have to buy anything in the auction. We are going to have just a straight option to donate as well. So, you know, that's a great choice as well. You know, whatever you end up deciding to do.
3 weeks, folks. 3 weeks. All right. So here's the deal. I was emailing with my good friend Len out in Maryland, a big Sparty fan, just like Scotty G himself, and he was telling me, he was giving me some feedback on our show we did about the Mount Rushmore of Disney resorts. And he's like, oh man, I'm so glad he said, I heard you guys all these rubber stamped Polynesian. He's like, and I was worried my contemporary wasn't going to make the list, but then it did. And I was happy. I was like, that's cool. So then I was like, well, that's awesome. But I was like, what are your other two? Because he gave me his first two. And I said, okay, yeah, the first two were easy, but what are your other two? And he's like, oh, that's the hard part. I don't know. I was like, I know. I was like,
same. We actually know. Yeah.
The easy ones. I was like, that's why I keep asking people. Because like, oh yeah, my first two were the same as your two. I was like, but nobody would give me the final two. I'm like, that's the
right.
Hard yeah. Because then you got to cut stuff and like make sacrifices. Anyway, he mentioned something in the email and he's like, you know, I was trying to figure out between Yacht and Beach and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And he's like, but they're kind of like the same thing. And then it got me thinking in his email, there's a lot of things at Walt Disney World that are kind of paired up, that are similar experiences. So like Yacht Club, Beach Club, pairs. And so I thought we'd do today is, I said Deuces Are Wild on Wednesday's show. So, and it's kind of a fun game you can play over the weekend with your family. I love when I hear listeners say that they're riding in the car over the weekend, you know, they're going on a trip, or, you know, they're sitting at dinner waiting for their table to get ready, whatever. And you can kind of play a game like this because we just kind of get things started. And you guys take the game to the next level. And I love hearing that feedback. So today we're going to try to go around Walt Disney World and come up with things, not in triplets, so like all-star resorts. Doesn't work. There's 3 of them. They're out because there's 3: music, sports, and movies. But things that are similar but are pairs. So I'm going to lead it. So Yacht and Beach would be a great example, right? They're super similar. They're paired up. And then you got to say which one you think is better and why. So let's just start off with that one real quick. It's kind of a practice round. This is what I do with my students back in the day before we took a test. So Yacht and Beach,
practice.
They're a pair. Which one is better and why, Rikki?
I honestly, for me, it's going to be Beach Club. There's something about the Beach Club that it feels like home to me. And I know that they're, you know, sister resorts and they're both very similar. But there's something that really gives me a homey feel about the Beach Club. Maybe it's the light, bright, airy feel of it, or, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's the restaurants are just a touch better to me. I'm not entirely sure, but for me, it's just a feeling I have inside that makes me happy. So I have to choose the Beach Club just because it's my home. You know, like I've never stayed there, but for me, I feel at home when I'm there. So that's
got to check for the Beach Club for Rikki. Pam, what do you say?
So I'm saying the Yacht Club because I prefer that sort of the color of I like the dark blues, and that I really like the rooms have been redone and feel so much more grown up to me. And they have all those things that sort of the new redone rooms at Walt Disney World have, the extra plugs and outlets and just the better layout for that. And, you know, but I love both because They're within walking distance to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So they're both great choices. But yeah,
So I'm going Yacht Club. So Yacht Club wins today, but it used to be Beach Club. And when they upgraded the rooms and they remodeled the rooms, I switched over to Yacht, and a couple of reasons. One, I feel like Thurston Howell III when I stay at Yacht Club over at Beach Club. Beach Club, I feel more like dad. Over at Yacht Club, I feel more like, like I'm, the guy from Gilligan's Island, like the rich guy. It doesn't matter. And I still remember like one of our very first trips, we were going to Beaches and Cream, I think. And I needed batteries for my digital. This is how long ago. I needed batteries for my digital camera. Okay. And it was like a point and shoot. It wasn't my phone. I needed like AA batteries. And so we went into the gift shop at the Yacht Club. And I just remember Pam, my wife, turning to me and saying, I don't think they allow kids to stay in this hotel. It's quiet. Because it was like all the dark woods, right? And it was just like the Beach Club was kind of wild because I guess we were kind of more out by the pool in the lobby. And it just happened, because you're out by Cape May Cafe and, it's
right.
not in that lobby. And we were over at the Yacht Club near the gift shop. And there just wasn't a lot happening at that point in time. And I started returning to me like, I don't think they allow kids in this hotel. And from that day on, it cracks me up because I'm like, we're at Disney, dude. I'm pretty sure they allow kids to stay in this hotel. But it was more calming because it was that dark wood and it just felt fancy. I was like, maybe they don't. I was like, then let's leave Paige at home because we didn't have Mallory at the time. Let's stay here. That's awesome because they have a steakhouse and everything. Like it's fancy. So yeah, Yacht Club wins the day for me, but they're both the same. But back in the day, I loved the pastels and stuff of the Beach Club, but I'm going Yacht. So Yacht wins the day. Okay, Rikki, give us a pair. What's up?
All right. I mean, I feel like this is an easy layup, but I have to go with it. So we're going to go with the actual sister resorts of Port Orleans Riverside and Port Orleans French Quarter because they really are sister resorts. So, the one obviously has the rustic feel and then paired with the stately feel. It's kind of a weird mashup, but for some reason it works, over at Riverside. And then, obviously at French Quarter, it's obviously all themed around, New Orleans and stuff like that. So both have really unique feels to them, but they really are sister resorts. So, Mike, what are you going to go with?
This one could totally change any, like this
I
one
agree.
Could change any day of the week because they do have different amenities. Riverside's got a sit-down restaurant, French Quarter doesn't. Yeah. It has live entertainment and Yeehaw Bob, which I really, really like of Riverside. French Quarter will have sometimes like a jazz singer, like a jazz like guitarist or something, or sax player, which is awesome. Scat Cat.
They also have beignets.
French Quarter has, this was to say, French Quarter has beignets, dude. That's not to be discounted. They rock. They are awesome.
I know they have Halloween ones right now, and I'm trying to figure out like if I can get over to there for some beignets while I'm there this weekend. So
French Quarter has one bus stop, and it's got a small size. It's so easy to get around. That is such a bonus. That's such a huge thing. It's okay. Today I'm gonna go with. God, I love the mansions too. I love Alligator Bayou at Riverside. I'm going French Quarter.
All right.
I just like the quaint, and I like the rooms. They just remodeled the rooms too over at French Quarter. They're nice. This one is so hard. I like that pool. I'm good. But I mean, God, I feel like I'm hurting Riverside though. I feel sad. Pam, what about you? Help me out. I'm going French Quarter.
Dang. So yeah, you were all over the map on that one. You had me convinced.
I know.
That really didn't hurt me. I'm hurting.
I know. So here, I'll help you out a little bit. I'm going to go Riverside, and here's why. First of all, they have a larger food court, and I think that that's a good thing. It has a few more choices, a few different stations that you can choose from. I like the pool area because it's a little bigger. There's more seating. So there's a bar right there by there. So you get to enjoy that. You can sit by the pool and grab a drink. I really like that. And I like that it has two different distinct themes. You can be in either the mansions or the bayou, and Alligator Bayou is so fun. I mean, it's really themed. The mansions are arguably I don't know, have a nicer theme or a more upscale theme, it's still the same
I've
room.
always wondered that because you're right. That's exactly right.
Yes.
I mean, you're paying the same for the room. So like,
Right.
I get thrown in the slums of Alligator Bayou.
But it's not. But I think Alligator Bayou's over the top themed.
It is very over the top theme.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I love that about it. So yeah, that's I'm going Riverside. So there, Rikki, you're the tiebreaker now.
Yeah. What do you say?
Oh no! I have to be the tiebreaker. Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna go with Riverside as well. I like that it has the two different themes. So you do have two different choices of what kind of hotel you want to stay at. So if you want the more rustic side, you can do that. If you want the more elegant side, you can do that. I do like that they have the table service restaurant option.
Boat Rice is underrated. It's underrated. It's a sleeper.
There you go. So there's that. And they do have entertainment there as well. I think it is a more well-rounded resort. Not to say that French Court isn't well-rounded, but it has just a little bit more to offer guests. Since French Quarter is kind of, it feels like a moderate light. You know what I'm saying? It's like not quite a value, but not quite a full moderate. So I think I'd put it in that moderate light category. And so, yeah, I think that's why I would choose Riverside to be the option here.
Well, trivia, French Quarter used to have a sit-down restaurant. Wasn't it called Bon Filiams or something?
Bon Familles.
Yeah.
Bon Familles from the Aristocats.
It's like a real good, person who doesn't know anything, right there.
Don't they use that space as like a test kitchen? Or they used to. I don't know if they still do because I think they have an actual test kitchen. But they did.
And the lounge actually takes up a part of where that restaurant was.
Interesting.
And the lounge is worth going to see. We had stopped there. It was just really good. They had a really good jazz band when we were there. Just really enjoyed it. So it's absolutely worth going to.
All righty. So Pam Forrester, give us a pair.
Okay. I did. I gotta look at my notes here.
She has notes.
I took notes. You texted me this morning. I understood the assignment.
She did.
Yeah, I was like, yes, we're on it today.
So how about over at Animal Kingdom, Maharaja Jungle Trek or the Gorilla Trail, the Gorilla Falls Trail? Which one are you thinking is going to be the better choice there? I know. What am I thinking cap for this?
You did a good job. You did understand the assignment. I like it. I like it because they are so similar. They're both trails that you learn about animals on.
No,
Mike, you want me to take it?
No,
I
gotta
take it first.
Give you the right answer first.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Give me the right
It's
answer.
the Maharaja Jungle Trek.
That is correct. Actually, yes.
Because MIZ baby,
that's
Tigers. Let's go.
I regret asking
I
him
would
the
drop
question.
my microphone, but this microphone's super expensive.
I very much regret asking him the question. Okay, I was also going.
No, you can go ahead.
I was also going to say the Maharaja Jungle Trek, because there are tigers not related to Mizzou. But there are amazing. Like the tigers are so amazing on the track to watch. I mean, they're just amazing. They're so cool animals that you get to see them. A lot of times they're sleeping up next to the glass, which is really cool. But then they also have, and I know that a lot of people this freaks them out, but I think it's really cool. The bats are such a cool experience to see. Because they're kind of huge bats. But they're adorable. I don't know what it is, but they're kind of cute. And I really like the bats over there. I hate to say it. I know this sounds awful. I kind of find the other trail a little boring, and I don't know why. Because it's got the gorillas on it, so you'd think, oh, that would be really exciting. But I just kind of find it boring. I don't like to watch the hippos, so I don't know.
If you're a true Disney fan, when you go on the Gorilla Trail, you say, kind of looks like my Uncle Phil.
Oh my God, yeah, it does. Yeah, but I'm probably totally wrong, but for me, I find the other trail boring. So
save this one. This got off the rails quick.
So I will go ahead then and argue the Gorilla Falls.
Okay, all right.
I will take one for the team. First of all, I think I could pretty much spend a good half of a day there by the gorillas. They do such really cool things. And especially if you go in the morning and or when it's a little cold, they put all kinds of things out there to sort of let them experience where they are. They do blankets, they do hay, they do different things for them to find. And it is really like you can see the wheels turning in their brains about that. I remember cool. I've gotten to see a couple times there were some fights over some blankets, some interesting back and forth, not like fights, but like.
Do you see what happens in my bedroom every night between my wife and I? Last night, she's like, you took all the blankets. I'm like, you all
right?
Yes, I did.
Watch Netflix, move a page, and you don't get the blankets. You come in late. Sorry.
It's true. And that was, I mean, that's really part of it, that you get to see that. I really do like the underwater view you get of the hippos. I love when they're coming in and they're so close and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a hippo right there. Like, how often do you really even get to see a hippo? If you go to the zoo and whatnot, you're seeing them above land, but this is an opportunity to see them sort of underwater and swimming around and things like that. So I love that too. And I like that it's over there in the area that it's by. I think it's just kind of a cool area. So I'll go ahead and go with the gorilla trip.
Is the birdhouse like totally separate?
Oh yeah.
No, it's part of it. And I think that's really cool too, that this is something that you have to be patient and take a little bit of time at. You can't like breeze through it and be like, yes, I've checked all the birds off. No, there's like 50 different species of birds in there. So you can sit and really, really look at that. And so I will say, since we've moved to where we are, which is kind of out in the country, as part of my old lady starter pack, I have a bird app on my phone.
Of course you do.
Yes, I've gotten the what are, I got them on my feet right now. Those slip-on shoes. I'm totally a 70-year-old guy.
The dad moms.
With the built-in like horn.
Yes.
I totally got those now.
So this app though is one that when you're walking or somewhere, you can open it up and it will tell you the birds that you're hearing right then. And I mean, that I can't wait. I'm doing this the next time I'm at Animal Kingdom. I want to hear and see all the different birds. But yeah, it's a cool thing. That part is really cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we started the show, we were the Young Hip Podcast.
Yeah, now we're just sitting there talking about birds. Wait. Oh my goodness.
We have a birder and I'm wearing Skechers.
Don't worry, everybody. I'm not the old lady yet because I think the birds are boring. So I'm sorry. I know. I'm going to get so many messages. I'm sorry. That's another reason why I don't like Gorilla Falls. I don't like the birds. I think they're super boring.
You'll be going over to Melbourne, Florida, over to the Space Coast soon and over to one of the nature places and looking at the birds.
No, I'm out.
Jody in our live chat says, got to go Gorilla Falls on this one. My girls are obsessed. They love baby Grace and Gino and the whole family. Look at them. I mean, you're pretty obsessed if you know their names.
Yes, a first name basis there. So.
Kind of looks like my Uncle Phil. Okay. So here's mine. I was thinking about this and I got my notes right here between the melon. American Adventure Hall of Presidents. They're sisters.
They are?
Yes.
Yeah. No, they are.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Which one's better, Rikki?
I think that I have to go with American Adventure. I think the overall story is, is better in a way. I think that the audio animatronics, the fact that they all do such different things and the set pieces that they have behind that attraction that are just humongous. And the contraptions they have underneath, like if you've heard about all of that, like how it's like a ballet of how they get all the pieces in the right place. And, it's just amazing to me how that attraction is run just because it's so in depth. And you've got some of the coolest effects, like the Ben Franklin walking up the stairs, and the lasso spinning, and the smoking cigar and stuff like that. Like all those things are so cool and so unique for the time when the attraction was built, and the fact that they still wow to this day, all these years later, is just a testament to how fantastic this attraction is. So I think that American Adventure wins for me.
Good points, Pam Forrester. What about you?
I'm doing the same, American Adventure. Although I really love Hall of Presidents, and I especially love some of the cast members that used to work there. I don't know that they're all still there, but they're passionate about that attraction, Hall of Presidents. They really do treat that as if they are stewards of that information and share so much with us. But I love the American Adventure. I love the way it sort of is like edutainment here. Like, this is what's happening. They're telling this part of the story of America, which, and reminding us all that we're all still just a young country. We're still figuring things out. And look at how far we have come. It warms my heart, the Ben Franklin thing, that he pulls Mark Twain in, that we get to see these founders of America. And I cannot tell you what a good nap spot this can be as well. As much as I love it, there are some trips, when you're really tired or it's really hot, and the air conditioning is wonderful and it makes a good little nap spot. So
that's true. Clean sweep here. I'm American Adventure as well. I do love the Hall of Presidents, and the roll call at the Hall of Presidents is just amazing. And my biggest thing, and I think a lot of us as Disney fans do this, I like to watch the other presidents. I don't try to key on the president that's getting their name called. I'll try to key on the presidents that are around that president, the one that's like scratching their neck and kind of like looking around to see, because they're doing that stuff, right? Because
they're fidgeting.
Like, exactly. Like, you don't realize that you would think that the other animatronics would be dead still, and then the spotlight would go on the one that's being featured, and they would kind of give a nod or a wave or whatever, to make it. But the other ones are fidgeting. They're checking notes. They're filling their fingers. I love that. That stuff. It just, again, it's like I mentioned about the Wicked Witch. Like, you could throw in like a James K. Polk or something as a real person, and it would not shock me. Like, he stands up and like, "Yo, Mike," I'd be like, "Whoa, what's going on? Wake up, Mike." I'd freak out. But yeah, it tells a great story. But American Adventure, I'll tell you what. I mean, little truth bomb here. I cry every time in that attraction, every time. And here's another truth bomb about American Adventure is that I have to be in the right frame of mind to go into that show. There are times where I'll walk past America because it hits me. Like, I feel it so hard, like that, especially the montage to Golden Dream. Like, God, like I feel that when they show like Walt Disney or the space shuttle astronauts from Challenger, these moments, Muhammad Ali when he lights the torch and he's got Parkinson's so bad that he can barely stand, but he still does it and overcomes. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it, because I've seen it so many times, like the movie's playing in my head, and it's like the eagles fly and Golden Dream. I'm like, oh my God, right now I'm about to cry. Like, it moves me because I'm super patriotic. I love our country, but the story is so well done. It is. If that ever goes away, it would be a tragedy. It would be a total tragedy. It's amazing. But Hall of Presidents, there's nothing wrong with it. But I would pick American Adventure. It is awesome. It is so good. Okay, let's go around one more time. Rikki, give us another pair.
Okay, these are both very similar as far as menus are concerned. And I am going to go with Garden Grill and Liberty Tree Tavern. Both have, like I said, it's very, very similar menus. They both tend to have.
They both rotate?
No, they have very similar menus. Don't both rotate. They usually have obviously a turkey, some sort of pot roast type dish. Oftentimes they have pork. I know, like the Harvest Feast at Chippendales, they often have a grilled beef, but then they also almost always have kind of the same sides. So you are going to get like mashed potatoes, and you're going to get macaroni and cheese, and you're going to get a seasonal vegetable that's usually green beans, and you're going to get stuffing. So they have like very similar items on their menu. So I feel like they're kind of equivalent to each other, almost sister-like. So Pam, I'm going to go with you first. Which do you prefer?
This one's rough for me. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it to Garden Grill, because of the added bonus of the feature of the rotation.
Yeah, you do.
Right.
Yeah.
And also that you can hear Living with the Land down below.
True.
Like that dog, I swear you hear the dog for like a good 3/4 of your meal. The
Valid
barking
point.
dog. That is, but it's just such a cool thing. And yeah, that one for sure.
Okay. Mike, what do you think?
I'm right there. You roast any restaurant that rotates.
I mean, yeah, there's that.
Winner, turkey dinner.
Yes.
So right there, and mashed potatoes. And also, we call these all comfort foods here,
Yes.
here in my household. But you know, the food's great. It's similar, but you get the rotational dining. You get characters at Garden
Yeah,
Grill.
you do get characters.
Back in the day, you used to get them at Liberty Tree
I
Tavern.
know. That was so cool.
I mean, Goofy dressed up like Paul Revere.
Yes.
Pretty sweet back in the day. Not happening anymore.
No.
But yeah, it's and also like Pam said, I mean, the number one attraction of Walt Disney World, Living with the Land, is in your restaurant. So boom, it's no brainer. Living with the Land. Boom. I would drop my mic again, but it's expensive. I don't want to do that. Rikki, go ahead.
I mean, I obviously agree. It's Garden Grill, but I'm gonna go more toward the food, the menu. I think that the menu is just a little bit better at Garden Grill. I think that the items are a little fresher. I've had more better meals at Garden Grill than I've had at Liberty Tree Tavern. You know, sometimes I think Liberty Tree Tavern isn't necessarily the best for some reason, or it hasn't been lately. So and I've definitely been to both within the past couple years and had much better experiences at Garden Grill. So I'm gonna go Garden Grill based on the food alone, even though they have very similar menus, like I said. But I mean, then you add in the extra bonuses of character meal and the fact that you're in Living with the Land, and that just throws it over the top. But if you're looking at food, I do give it a little bit more to Garden Grill. And they have breakfast. So.
Okay, and Marianne in our live chat here on Facebook says the vegetarian option that's so often disappointing is delicious at Garden Grill.
Awesome.
Vegetarian. Marianne gives the seal of approval over at Garden Grill. All right, Pam Forrester, give us another pair. What do you got?
Okay, so I am doing these two that are often compared, and that is It's a Small World and the Grand Fiesta Tour.
Oh,
right? I know. Because people often just say, well, it's just Small World here in Epcot.
True.
So Mike, what do you think?
Grand Fiesta Tour all day and all night, baby.
Really? Huh.
Yes, because my affinity for all things Mexican food.
This is true.
It's true. Very true.
And tequila.
They don't pass out food, though, I'm going to say.
There's one small clip in this ride that if they take it away, it will hurt me. There's a couple things that I really, really love about Grand Fiesta Tour, which we all true Disney fans still call it El Rio del Tiempo. Let's get real.
This is true. Yes.
It's the river of time.
It is river of time.
Spanish for 5 years to be able to tell you that, people. Here's the deal. One is the fiber optic fireworks on the ceiling. Those things are amazing. But here's the other thing that I think if they ever take this, and it's a small thing, and I'm always scared it's going to go away because it could go away. It could go away tonight. I cry. It's the Acapulco cliff divers. I love that little clip where they're just like in sync diving and it's like rocks, but it's a video screen there, kind of hidden in the rocks.
Yes.
I love that as much as the very end of Living with the Land, seeing those people that I wonder where they are now. Scott and I talk about it all the time. So but I just love it because, I think it's better than It's a Small World. I don't know what it is, but I just love that attraction. It's got Donald and seeing all the, pyramids and stuff. I don't know. And I'm not being facetious. I do like that ride better than It's a Small World. But I do like the Mexican culture. I took Spanish every semester from 8th grade all the way through graduating high school. So I do love the Mexican culture. So it's very cool. I've only been to Mexico on cruises though, ironically enough. All right, Rikki, what about you? Go for it.
Okay, so for me, I think I'm gonna have to choose It's a Small World. It's the classic attraction. The story behind it is so good. The fact that it was part of the 1960 World's Fair and all that stuff. Like it's just you can't go wrong with It's a Small World. And I know that a lot of people think it's creepy, and the song is annoying, but the song is perfect for its time. It was perfect now. The message that it has, it really is a song of a prayer of peace. And also I took my daughter on it as her first attraction, so I mean it has to win, because it's always going to be tied to that now. So I, as much as I love Grand Fiesta Tour, and trust me, I love Grand Fiesta Tour, I go on that attraction every stinking time. It is such a good ride, and the wait times are awesome on it too. I have to go with It's a Small World.
And we got to break the tie. And Michelle does say that Disneyland version
This is
better.
true.
It's
Yeah.
100%
It is.
outside. It's
Yeah,
the OG. Yes.
100%.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So it is very close for me too. And if Grand Fiesta had just kept in the clip of the swim up bar, it may have topped my list, but I'm gonna go with Small World too. I love them both, and the slow moving boat rides. I mean, yeah, I like every attraction that is a slow moving boat ride. But there is something about It's a Small World, the nostalgia there, the fact that everyone can ride it and enjoy it. I think it's something that my parents still could do. You know what I mean? Just like everyone sort of embraces It's a Small World. There's something about it, to being stuck there in the boat for 15 minutes or however long it goes on. You hear the song again and again. You're singing the song the rest of the time. I love it. I love when they make little tweaks to update it. Like, I love the fact that at Disneyland, they have all the little characters there that are included in them, and the way that happens. But I love things like that. I think there's lots of opportunities to update that, to sort of make it relevant. But in some ways, I think it will always be relevant because it's a small world. Yeah.
I mean, we use that quote all the time of, it's just such a small world, all the time. Yeah.
But I've always said this too about El Rio del Tiempo, the Grand Fiesta Tour. How cool would it be if, like, say, after 5 o'clock, you could buy chips and guac and take it?
I'm here for it. Like, absolutely, 100%.
They could charge $10.
I mean, I agree.
I'd be like,
chips, guac, queso, and salsa. Let's go. I've said it for years.
I know it'd be kind of messy, but you just, like they tell you when you get on, like, come on, man, for the respect of mankind, don't get this all over the place.
I mean, I would prefer that they sold it in the pavilion, inside, and but whatever. I
want to be able to take a drink on. They can put a lid on it.
That's a good next
I bring my margarita
right outside Grand Fiesta Tours, where you can, like, as you're walking in, you slip them $20, you get a drink, and you're on the ride.
Look, you can bring a Dole Whip into Enchanted Tiki Room. So come on, let's go. We should be able to bring margaritas and chips and
margarita cup and some kind of contraption where you take some chips and guac. That ride, I'd be like, how you give, like, on a slow day, back in the day when there were slow days at the Magic Kingdom, you give the old one more time around on the
TTA.
I'd be giving it one more time around.
I miss those days so much.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, we have a ton more, but we're gonna have to do this show again at some point because we're out of time.
For sure.
Yeah.
No fun though.
Now that we've done the research,
we have.
That's kind of fun.
Pam's gonna save her list now.
I know, right?
Save your list, and we'll do this again on Sunday night. So if you have pairs and you want to break it down with Scott and I, and we'll have fun with the callers, Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. You have a pair. Let's talk about it. We'll also talk about all the Disney news of the week too. So again, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Give us a call. We'll continue this game right there with Scotty G. Hashtag Scotty G, actually. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out today. The website is themagicforless.com. Easy to see, great place to start your Disney trip planning, all destinations. And again, costs you nothing extra to book that trip with us. And you get lots of goodies like onboard credits with Disney Cruise Line, Disney gift cards for Walt Disney World, Disneyland trips. Just all the specials are right there on the page. Check it out. Fill out that free no obligation quote. We'll get back to you right away again over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our patrons You guys allow us to put out more shows than any other Disney podcast out there. And our patrons get that bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. If you'd like to support us, starting at just $5 a month, piece of cake. Come on over and support us. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give Rikki a follow at Rikki Nibs. Give Pam a follow at TMFLT Pam. They're both going cool places. Going to have lots of fun content for you on their socials, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Of course, I'll be tweeting from the H. Just as cool. Not Adventures by Disney, not the Disney Wish, but just as much passion. It's going to be fun. Give us all a follow. We want to talk to you. And of course, join us Sunday night. All right, we're going to jump out of here and wish you a great weekend. So whatever you're doing, have a great time, but stay safe and stay healthy. So for Pam and Rikki, I'm Mike. Have a great weekend, and we will see you real soon.
I don't know why I started waving and then I stopped waving and then it looked really awkward.
That's a fun show. We need to do that again.
It was fun. Yeah, it really was. It was a good one.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Well,
good idea.
A good time.
All right.
We'll see you in a couple weeks, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Episode 2339.